Oh, all right.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone.
Hey, hi everyone. Hi, good afternoon, Jamil. It's rare that we do one of these afternoon sessions, so excited to see you during the day and excited to be here for the CTIB session.
Yeah, same here. Okay. Well, but we are not the main star. The main star today would be Dato Chong.
Yeah.
So let's welcome Dato Chong to the stage. So Dato Chong is the managing director of Technology International Berhad, and yeah, we will start with introduction video of Cosmos Technology, and then we'll proceed with the presentation.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dato
All
Chong.
right.
So, yeah, I think we can start our slide. Basically, you can see that this is all our corporate video. You can see a lot of water. Is considered a liquid control product that we're having now in the company. I think we can start with our slide right now. Thanks.
All right. Okay. I will pass the floor to Dato Chong.
Yeah.
Please.
Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, we'll start with offering or summary for CTIB today. You can see that in our principal advisor, with Mercury Securities and Berhad. Actually, we are listing in the ACE market of Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad. And the offer structure is basically a public issue of 64 millions and 125 .300 new ordinary share made available for application as below. 12.8 million new ordinary share by Malaysia Public, 7.8 million new share by eligible directors, employees, and persons who have contributed to the success of Cosmos and its subsidiaries. 11.357 and 600 new share by way of private placement to selected investor. 32 million or 02700 new share by way of private placement to Wibutra investor approved by the Ministry of International Trade and Industry. So our issue price, IPO price will be 35 cents per new share. Market capitalization upon listing will be 89.8 million. And last issue capital upon listing will be total 256 million and 501 and 300 share. Next slide, please. Okay, you can see that for this utilization of proceed, okay, we divided the 4 areas here. You can see that capital expenditure, there will be 60%, repayment to bank borrowing is 7%, working capital is 20%, listing expenses with 13%. Based on capital expenditure, there will be the 13.5 million objective. There will be the acquisition of new building, streamline all our internal administrative and finance process, increase efficiency, improve expedite decision making, and reduce travel time and cost by our staff and employee and other stakeholders. Purchase of new machinery to increase our production capacity and manufacturing capacity, as well as reduce our dependency of our subcontractor. So action is that acquisition of new building, purchase a new machinery. The timeline for the utilization proceed within the 24 months. Okay. Second one that we're having 7% for repayment back on bank borrowing is equivalent about 1.5 million. Our objective is that interesting is interest saving of 0.06 million per annum based on weighted average interest rate of 5.76% per annum. Action, payback overdraft facilities. So the timeline utilization within the 6 months. The third one will be working capital. Okay, so equivalent of 4.4 million, 20%. Objective to supplement our general working capital requirement. Action, a purchase of flow control product and telemetry product, as well as steel material. Settlement of trade payable and payment of wages, salaries, medical expenses, benefits, administrations, and operational expenses. The timeline utilization between 12 months. And listing expenses will be 3 million. Actually, the all involved the leasing expenses. Action, pay back the professional fee, underwriting, placement, and broker fees fee to authorization, authorized company. Timeline utilization within is 1 month. The next slide, please. Now you can see that the shareholding of corporate structure. You can see that myself, we're holding 40.5%. MSM International Limited, Limited from Singapore will be 27%. Malaysia Public as selected investor 29.43%. Eligible person will be 3.07%. CTIB Group actually having two subsidiary. It basically 100% owned by Cosmo Instruments Berhad and Mark Colley Industries and 100% also. Next slide. The key achievement and milestone that so far we have achieved, you can start from 04 to under 2021. You can see that based on the 04 that we have incorporated since then, Cosmo Instruments are incorporated to this field control product used in water and wastewater industry in Malaysia. And in 2007, Cosmo Instruments was appointed as authorized process instrumentation distributor for Siemens Malaysia, for Siemens Malaysia Automation and Drive Group. 2010, MCI was incorporated to manufacture fabricated metal product for oil and gas application under its then holding company MSM in Singapore. Myself, Dato Chong, initiated a working partnership with MCI through the MSM in the year of 2017. 2018, Cosmo Instruments was appointed as a process instrumentation solution partner for Siemens Malaysia Digital Factory and Process Industry and Drive Division. 2019, Cosmo Instruments was incorporated as official partner for La Grove Software from France. 2020, Cosmos was listed on the lead market. MCI received our first order to produce and supply the laminar plates for laminar clarifier for water in the customer. 2021, MCI received first order to produce and supply metal body frames of shaker machine and our oil and gas industry. Cosmo Instruments expanded our range of software product to include centralized monitoring system. Cosmos was delisted from the lead market to facilitate our listing to ACE market. This is our achievement and the milestone that we have so far. Okay, go to the next slide. Business overview. Our group principal activity are segmented into the following: distribution and instrumentation services of fluid control and thermal product, and the other one will be the manufacture of fabricated metal product. In our distribution side, our instrumentation service include consultation and service, advice and design and integrate our telemetry solution, installation and commissioning of instrument, and calibration and testing of instrument, and maintenance of our instruments and trainings, all the product that we have offered in the market. The fluid control and telemetry product distributed by Cosmo Instruments consists of the fluid control product distributed by Cosmo Instruments consists of electromagnetic flow meter, ultrasonic flow meter, level transducer, and pressure transmitter. It's widely used in water and waste treatment plant. The telemetry product distributed by Cosmo Instruments consists of software data logger and centralized monitoring system, also widely used in the water waste treatment. plant. The other manufacturer of fabricated metal product that we're having is specialized in the manufacturing of fabricated metal product with the capabilities to customize fabricated metal products according to our customer application needs. It fabricates metal product for various industries such as oil and gas and other like water and waste treatment. Okay, you can see that the revenue, the both sector, okay, from the financial year 2019, from 11 million actually to be increased to 19 million on the financial year 2022 for our distribution side. And for the manufacturing segment, actually from financial year 2019, 32 million, actually we were seeing that there is the downturn on the 40 million and 50 million, and due to the pandemic and also the oil and gas price issue. And of course, for year-end for financial year 2022, you can see that substantial increase of the turnover from 50 million to 30 million. There's twofold. They can say that. Okay, next slide, please. You can see that the fluid control and telemetry product and electromagnetic flow meter, the industry that we actually evolved. You can see the electromagnetic flow meter is widely used in industrial and commercial sector to monitor water distribution, water usage, and managing non-revenue water, so-called NRW. Okay, since inception, we have been sourcing our fluid control product from Siemens Malaysia and redistributed from them to water customer. The fluid control product distributed by the Cosmo Instrument are employed in 4 key areas of the water industry. Namely, you can see that the river, water, dam, reservoir is actually water source. And then they have been distributed to water treatment plant. From that, we have the water distribution pipe to the industrial commercial building, and in fact, they will involve on the water waste treatment plant also. That in this all process, you can see that most of our meter will be placed in different area. They can actually place it under monitor water control from river to water treatment plant, from water treatment plant to water distribution, also put in our meter, and also from the water distribution pipe actually flowing to distribute out to the industrial commercial building, also by our meter. You can see most of the area that we involve in installing our new meter. Okay, next slide, please. And also the official partner for Lightcroft software to market distribute the range of telemetry product, including software data logger and central monitoring system to our customer. Okay, the data logger basically is using a data logging system with electronic flow meter to study process pattern, analyze optimization rate, and check before all problem that might raise from the system and perform troubleshooting procedure immediately. You can see that there is a flow directions from the water waste treatment plant. There is a water flowing to industrial and commercial area, and in between they are using our electronic flow meter and data logger. They will sending back the centralized system to the headquarter or the authority center. And basically through all the network that we have in Malaysia is like 4G and 2G communication direction. So from there onward, what the authority going to use it is actually they use it for the water billing and also for access the water data. From there onward, they can able to monitor pipe leaking also, and also the usage of the water for individual commercial area. You can see that all the water authority, water operator, they're using this system actually to track all the data that is basically for NRW and water zoom meter, and in fact, they're also consumer billing meter also. So you can see that our telemetry product, we have the centralized monitoring system to help to automate, operate, manage, and monitor the performance and efficiency of water waste treatment plant, instrumentation, and equipment. The primary objective of this centralized monitoring system is to help our water customer to monitor, enhance water and plant operation efficiency, better measure the efficiency of water pump motor, improve the measurement of performance of water pipe and monitoring the water leakage, and reduce electricity costs. Also, there is a lot of this all benefited to our water authority and all the user. Next slide, please. I found the manufacturing segment. Actually, our fabricated product is basically involved the 3 product, the key product that we're having now. And MCI possesses the technical knowledge, experience, and capability in metal fabrication. to produce high quality fabricated metal product. The metal frame for shackle filter, this is our main product that we're having. We are manufacturing under industrial application oil and gas sector, and is use it for primary function, is use it for the tubing ring equipment. And second one that we do manufacture wall mount pedestal panel and metal enclosure, and we work with IP requirements and high quality. And basically we are using for like metal sheet or stainless steel material. So our industry, basically we use it quite a lot on water waste, especially the big project that's coming up previously like Langhat, that we all using all our stainless steel panel that involve IP65. Okay. Primary function is to how the switches and the wiring, all the equipment that control equipment this panel. The third one, actually, we are venture to this new product we call laminar plate. Basically, this laminar plate has been widely used at the moment because previously, water industry they are emphasizing using this PVC or HDPE kind of product, and in the long run, they may not be good for health of for the drinking water. So most authority at the moment now they are trying to convert from HDPE or plastic material to the stainless steel. And you know that we are a company in other manufacturing segment. We are very specialized on this product. And at the moment, we have getting a small order from Sabah, and we're starting producing it right now in the Sabah stage. And basically, I believe in this 13th stage, especially in Penang, in Selangor, I think they are starting widely be recommended to be changed to all the plastic kind of the laminar plate converted to all the stainless steel. And then this is one of the big area, quite potential area for all the venture in the near future. And in fact, we are optimistic and basically on the water and oil and gas industry. I think these are mainly three products that we're having here right now is basically it's the right future. You know, there is basically there's quite a lot of treatment plant going to upgraded. So I think apparently the currently and also these three products is actually quite sellable in the market. Next slide. The future plan, okay. Now, acquisition of new building, you can see that underutilized proceed. Well, one of the utilization proceed, we are using the money to acquisition of the new building. Actually, on the 14th January 2022, we entered the sale and purchase agreement with the vendor for the acquisition of new building, purchase a consideration of 11.8 million. Presently, our employee and operation are housed in two different locations. There is our management office located in Semenyih, Selangor, and the MCI manufacturing facility located in Belakang, Selangor. So we intend to consolidate Custom Instrument MCI management, operation, production space in the new building at one location. And this new building is basically located at the Belakang also. Next slide, please. Another future plan is we use it or utilize and proceed to purchase a new machinery. So in the last 12 months, MCI production order for a new and existing product, example metal frame of shackle filter, have increased progressively. Therefore, MCI anticipate that we will be facing limitation in our production capacity for the fabrication MCI fabricated metal product in the near future. There's a reason why, in view of the above, MCI intend to purchase several new machinery for the following purpose: improve MCI manufacturing output, such as metal frame for shackle filter and other fabricated metal product, in order to meet the anticipated increase in demand from our oil and gas sector and the customer, and reduce reliance on subcontractor and foreign worker due to our group limited production capacity. We also expand MCI manufacturing capability to produce metal frame for shield shackle and other fabricated metal product internally in order to reduce reliance on subcontractor for production of the same products. We intend to purchase a foreign new machineries for the above mentioned purpose: laser cutting machine, tube pipe laser cutting machine, press brake machine, robotic welding machine. You can see that following there's a picture to show that the machine that we're going to purchase. Okay. Next one. Outlook and prospect. Outlook or prospect. Okay. Key driver of electronic flow meter. I mean, we're talking about a Cosmo Instruments and Berhad. The demand of water has increased tempted with the growth of the population in the country, improvement in the standard of living, as well as the expanding agriculture and industrial development. 25% level NRW. Basically, you can see that government intention to lower the national NRW level to 25% by 2025. They have been set up by the National Water. And then the national RNW level has increased from 35.2% in 2016 to 36.4% in 2020. And in order to reduce it further, electrophotometer play a crucial role because this off-flow meter, basically they place it on a different zone meter and actually to monitor the leakages and the flow rate going through all the existing pipeline, the old pipeline, so that you can actually transmit back all the data back to the headquarters and with the monitoring control system. You can see that with this all data that we obtain it on the headquarters, they actually can closely monitor all the leakages. That's the reason why the meter, the smart meter, the electron meter have been widely been using, especially to the area that the NRW that you're going to reduce. So believe that if more and more meter be installed in all the area, I believe in order to monitor the leakages, there's more efficient and more easy for water authority to monitor the location where it's leaking, and the data that we're going to monitor also. So second area that, in fact, there's a widely using in the NRW area, and treatment plant itself, they appropriate 300, there's approximately 330 water treatment plant operating in Peninsula Malaysia and Labuan in 2020. And they also required to wear and tear for a period of time and ensure accuracy of the result. Means there's a lot of treatment plant, they're going to replace it by the old meter also. Okay, there's also very good area that is actually boosts up a certain good revenue to the company also. Okay, so you can see that there's a 330 treatment plant. I think most of some of treatment will be talking about 30 years and 50 years, and there's a lot of these all old meter they need to be replaced. Okay, the third one, there will be metered water consumption. Rapid urbanization across the country has driven the needs for adequate water management, water consumption divided into domestic and non-domestic. So basically, there's a certain zone meter for billing purpose. Okay, so to monitor the flow rate and actually for all the user to use it, and instead of they're using mechanical meter, they probably will change it at the top from magnetic flow meter. It's more accurate, and in terms of efficiency, in terms of accuracy, the electromagnetic is data flow rate is more accurate. And fourth one, growing industry, the market size for electronic flow meter in Malaysia is anticipated to increase from 99.8 million in 2021 and to 190.7 million in 2025, generating a CSGR of 17.6%. It's a big area right now. You can see that a substantial increase for 4 years, and from 99.8 million to 190.7 million. Cosmos Group, which registered a revenue of 14.9 million in 2021 and recorded a market share of 15% in Malaysia in the same year also. So basically, you can see that outlook on the 4 area, there's a key driver, for our electromagnetic flow meter to venture in. As we are actually moving forward, so with the help of the industry, of the water industry, I believe we are in the right track. I think you go to the next slide. Okay, basically you can see that on the key driver second filter, active ring count in an important business indicated in the upstream sector of oil and gas industry. And when rig are active, they consume product and services generated by the oil and gas industry. You can see that the global active rig count and drill well, there is from 21765 million actually have been increased to 219 to 71,000 ring. Okay, from there also they have been actually declined to 48, and in fact sustained it on the 54. Okay, then you can see that this is a form of a correlation between the active rig counts and the numbers of rig well. In turn, the numbers of rig well has a direct impact on the demand of check filter. Okay, and crude oil production peaked in 2018 before decreasing in 2019 and 2020, and was subsequently rebounded in 2021. You know that the global production of crude oil and natural gas, you can see that is substantially increased it, from 2021 onward. At the moment now, the natural gas is talking about 4036.9 million cubic meter at the moment. And of course, crude oil, basically, you can see that is 422.4 million tons at the moment. Okay. Okay, go for the next slide, please. Oh, I think we should add in the certain, go back to the last slide. Okay, I think this outlook at the moment, moving forward in view of global high demands of our second filter group from 2018 till now, actually we are outbid our oil and gas industry for time being. Okay, go to the next slide, please. A key investment highlight. Key investment highlight, basically, Consortium Instrument is the certified partners and solution partner of Siemens Malaysia and official partner of Lagrove Software. As a partner with Siemens Malaysia and Lagrove Software, Consortium Instrument received various of the assistance and support from the partners. Basically, both of them is our partners. We are classifying them as a solution partner at the moment. Mean is, no doubt, Siemens do not have exclusive, and in terms of water and waste treatment industry, I think if someone enter to the website or go direct to Siemens website in view of any issue that you want to relate involve in related to the Siemens requirements or data or quotation, they will actually divert yours back to our Consortium Instrument. It's basically we are located in Malaysia, so indirectly, no doubt we are not the exclusive, but basically we are the only one in Malaysia that involved in water and waste treatment under the solution partner agreement. Same thing also under the Lagrove Software from France, the data logger. We believe at the moment we are the only one that distribute this logger, and we actually direct report it back to the French Lagrove headquarters. A second thing is that MCI possesses the competency and capability in fabricating and customizing a diverse range of fabricated metal products for its customer in the water and wastewater and oil and gas industry. As a group, Consortium Instrument has been utilizing the manufacturing strength of MCI to produce other fabricated metal products for Consortium Instrument customer in the water and wastewater industry also. Okay, the third one, establish ourselves as a reliable distributor of fluid control product for the water and wastewater industry in Malaysia, has good track record in manufacturing metal frames and for second filter for the oil and gas industry. With 18 years track record that we're having, our group has established ourselves as a reliable distributor of fluid control product for the water and waste treatment industry in Malaysia. In addition, MCI has been in the metal fabrication and manufacturing business for 12 years. Over the years, he has established a good track record in manufacturing metal frame for second filter for oil and gas industry also. So basically, these are key investment highlight. Is particularly in the three areas. Next, please. Okay, the key investment highlight. Our group. Myself, okay, and we have the team of very good experience with us. Basically, like Mr. Ng Boon Keong, our executive director. Myself is a managing director, and myself have a 30 years experience in water and waste treatment industry, and we have past experience with includes provision installation, testing commission, SCADA instrument, mechanical, electrical, and in fact, I involved the tender evaluation, marketing plan, strategy, process, automation, SCADA, networking solution, and project implementation involved M&E works and manpower management, planning and strategy in the water industry, waste industry. And myself is actually responsible for selling the overall strategic direction and vision, as well as formulating the business growth of our Cosmos Group. Mr. Moon Kyong, our executive director, okay, he's actually mechatronic engineering for Parent Institute of Engineering Technology. Began his career as a mechanical designer in April 1996 with WEMAC Engineering Services Private Limited Singapore, and he has 26 years of experience in mechanical design, process engineering, lean manufacturing, and project management, and responsible for the business development and overall management and operation of whole MCI, which is on oil and gas sector. This is experience management team that we have for us, enabling us to provide service that expected by our customer about these two areas, water and oil and gas sector. Next slide, please. The financial highlight, I think I have to pass it out to my CFO to answer this or present this slide.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kay. So now I'll present the financial highlights for Cosmos Group. For the past 4 financial years, we have achieved total 49 million sales in 2022. Okay, our sales is derived from manufacturing segment and distribution segment. Whereas another one will be our revenue by segmental, which is our sales derived from Malaysia and overseas. So in Malaysia, the sales will be 85%, whereas the overseas will be 15% in 2022. Next slide, please. So this is our overall financial year performance for past 4 years. Our revenue, GP, PBT, and PAT. Just to highlight that in 2020, our sales is reduced significantly, mainly due to the pandemic MCO and the reduce in the global crude oil price. Even though our sales is reduced, but you can see that our GP is maintained at 30.5%. It is mainly due to we have ceased our rental for factories, and another one, the weakening of RM against USD. Next. This is our key ratio for trade receivables turnover, trade payables turnover, inventory turnover, current ratio, gearing ratio. In 2022, our overall ratio is still remain healthy and positively. That's all for our presentation for financial.
Again, that's it for our side. The presentation slide. I think return back for Q&A section. Right. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Dato, for taking us through the presentation. I think it gives us a very good overview of the business and helps all of us understand things a little bit better. Now we're going to transition into the Q&A segment. And for this, Dato, maybe we start with a couple of casual kind of like introductory questions. Then after that, we'll cover the business overview of the entire business. Then maybe we'll ask a couple of questions specifically on the fluid controls and telemetry business. Then we'll touch on the manufacturing business. And then maybe after that, we touch on the financial questions, if any, from the audience. So I think without any further ado, Jiaming, why don't you kick us off for the Q&A?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Dato Chong, for your very comprehensive presentation on CTIB. And I know that you have so much years of experience and depth of experience. Maybe you can share about how did Cosmos Technologies first started? You know, what's the origin story, if you want to share?
Yeah, I think as just now I did mention in our key milestone that we achieved from 2004 until 2021. Basically, Cosmos itself, we have started, without any partnering with anyone. So that's why we are coming very small. And eventually, the 2008, that we starting enter the agreement with Siemens. Yeah, I believe Siemens have been seeing through our small company and comfortable with us and with a young team that we're having. So that during the time is we are trying to approach Siemens to become a partner. And eventually, in 2008, that we able to enter the partnership with Siemens. From that onward, 2017, because due to the highly potentially, involving all kind of fabrication product in water and waste treatment, I've been foreseeing this a near future prospect. And then eventually, I have been negotiating with MCI, through the all serious kind of the acquisition at the end of the day, we managed to streamline all our partnership agreement. So basically, on the 2019, we have 2020 we were listed in lead market, and then in fact, during the lead market, due to the establish the liquidity, so we actually decided to release it from the lead market on 2021 with on November. So after that, 10 months later, we actually working out very closely, for our this industry. So finally, we decided enter to the ACE market application. So fortunate is that we have been approved by Bursa. So I think we are quite lucky that because we have been working, our team is working very hard with this transformation is from lead to ACE, so that hopefully, everything will go smoothly. And that is our journey, for Cosmo from so far since 2004. Is
What an
basically
amazing journey. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe Sachi,
Any
you
thought?
wanna have
Yeah.
any questions?
Actually,
Quite
Dato,
interesting.
just
Huh?
you
I think everybody is starting asking question us whether are we intend, enter to the main board in future. But of course, for time being, we are focusing on ACE market. Of course, these almost a company end goals possibly go to main board. And of course, is any decision that we make by a company, we will announce it. Of course, we are subject to all the water authority approval and this and that. Okay.
Okay. Just on the point of the lead market, right, Dato? I believe you're actually the first company to so to say graduate from the lead market to the ACE market, right? If I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah, I think
you mentioned that.
Sorry, I think a
Sorry.
bit proud that today I have seen the Nanyang News that put out a very good article to us, because I just got it before I entered this room. They have been mentioned that we are the first one, to not say migrate, actually we delist it and then we release in ACE. So we're proud to have that information. Thank you everyone have been giving us the support and then the encouragement, to enter to this success story. I mean the success journey.
Okay. And Dato, you mentioned earlier that it was liquidity that was your concern. Right? Was that the only reason to move from the ACE market to the from the lead market to the ACE market?
Basically, I have a few reasons. There's only one. Of course, the established liquidity is part of it, but I think under ACE market, basically, we believe there is a bigger fundraising platform for us to go with. We can see that our fundraising is actually basically from 5 million to 22 million. So we believe that ACE market is more bigger platform for us to enter. And another one, basically to gain the recognition in a company, so that reputation, able to streamline, and then, of course, comparing lead market, believe that ACE market is more better recognition, to gain better recognition for all the, in terms of the public company like in Malaysia. So of course, also it can attract more of the small shareholder and institution to come in to support our share also. But of course, in lead market liquidity issue, there's quite limited to SI, and you can see that the share price doesn't move at all, and the statement for whatever, I believe that most of people see that in the lead market share price doesn't move much. So these are a few reasons that we based on our discussion of management team, we are decided to do this. Of course, concurrently, we build of our future plan. So we are very aggressively, getting more funding coming in to do our expansion for our this kind of pipeline that we have. So I think with this 22 million that we have obtained for this fundraising, and the utilization process has been planned nicely to acquire the building, to buy the machinery, to pay back bank loan, and also the working capital. I think in future long run, we believe we have better perspective.
Okay, understand. Thank you so much, Dato. And now just moving on to understanding the business a bit, right? I noticed as I was preparing for this session that the majority of your revenues actually come from your manufacturing business. But in most of the discussion and presentation, you position the business as a fluid equipment services provider. Maybe if you could just speak on this a little bit and maybe talk about what is your maybe longer term ambitions. Do you see one segment growing faster than the other, and how should investors think of the business?
For Thai Minute, we are quite optimistic because you're talking oil and gas sector. Of course, we are outbid for the oil and gas sector industry, and at the presently, you can see that my oil and gas sector it basically have contribute 60% of our revenue and 40% of water sector. But as far as we are concerned, because for water sector side, we predict there is more and more project were coming in, and the ample kind of project have been planned under national water. Under the national water planning, I think there's a figures is about 60, 76.9 billions is needed over the 30 years. So means it's a water side under the key driver that we are facing off right now is basically we are very optimistic in how this water industry. For oil and gas sector, we believe that, of course, very much depending on which position at the moment. I think in the help of this water in oil and gas industry also, we are very outbid on that. And currently, you can see that 60-40, we're doing on concurrently. I think most of them will be so we couldn't comment right now whether which industry is better, but we are doing the utmost what I call order in terms of to contribute to this industry, in terms to try to upgrade our facilities and the machinery, with high efficiency, and try to not be totally reliant on the foreign worker in terms of the industrial 4.0. We try to improve our manufacturing capacity and output also. So I think for us, both industry for us is very important. And one thing is that I can classify both industry is something like utilities and quite essential on the water side. Even though any pandemic, any issue on kind of the downturn of economy, I think water sector is still is one area that we can't miss lah. So in future prospect, I think we are very optimistic.
Mm. Yep.
All right.
So
Okay. Sorry, thanks, Dato. Jaming, you seem to have a question on your mind already. Over to you.
So speaking on the fluid control segment, right? There's a question from the floor from Terence Fu. He's interested to know, what project scope do you get involved in for the fluid control segment? And it seems like Cosmos Technology is not only purely distribution, but also involved in like advising and consulting. So would you like to maybe further elaborate on this question from our audience?
Yeah, basically you can see that in our slide a bit highlighted we involve on consultation advice. You see a lot of area that where the client want to install the meter, they usually ask us to do some advice and do calculation whether what kind of size of meter you're going to install in the particular area. So basically all this all knowledge expertise that we have, basically we have to do all the calculation and estimation and also to come with the right proposal to the client to select our size, the right size of the meter. So basically, we cannot simply go and design a meter that undersized or oversized. So it will create a lot of unnecessary problem in the future. So we believe that this expertise that we're having now here is it's quite exclusive. And then there's a lot of this all information we obtain it based on our experience in this industry. So it's quite important that to select the right size. So at the same time, after the consulting, the consultant, all the end user, and of course we had to submit all the substantial kind of the report and analysis. So only that we pick up the right meter to use. So basically, we are the one who advising all the authority what kind of the right sizes to use. It answer the question by Terence, right?
Yeah, I think you did elaborate quite a bit. Then may I know, since I guess it's by project basis, then how long does one project usually takes, or is it case by case basis from the consulting to the designing, testing, and the end commissioning? Do you have like a time frame?
You see, our meter, a good part is that we are not dependent on project. Okay,
Oh, okay.
we can consider as a wear and tear because the
Mm,
meter have been one using every in the 30 state at the moment.
okay.
The meter basically itself have been installed 20 years ago or 30 years ago is mainly on mechanical meter. And you know the mechanical meter, the accuracy is comparing with electromagnetic meter, the accuracy is very high. Accuracy high means the measuring the flow rate will probably that may not be accurate. So some of the industry that using a water billing meter, it, based on the record that we are facing is actually previously by water authority, usually mechanical meter register high billing because acute accuracy issue. But after installing our new electrophone meter, probably uh, uh, I have to repeat it correctly just now. I have made a mistake on the reading
Okay.
data right now. Just now. Now, basically, when you're talking mechanical meter, the register, the flow rate usually is under value.
Mm,
Under value means this is the accuracy is considered high. They may not able to measure accurate reading. At the end, is comparing electrophotometer is more accurate. So mean is register more flow rate. So comparing it, the tariff that calculating, so putting our electrophotometer, you'll be getting more money to the government. So I think it's also good revenue to all the water authority when installing for our mechanical. So with this industry that we are having now here, there's a mainly wear and tear meter. Once they are faulty or damaged, we are trying to get budget to replace it through our electrical meter. But not only for billing meter, they also do about zoom meter and RB meter. Now we're talking project coming in. Now project also partly that build a treatment plant itself. As I just showing a slide, in for raw water, dam water flowing down the treatment plant and pumping the treatment plant, and from treatment plant to distribution line, from distribution line go to consumer side. I think this already also using our meter. So during the time, of course, we will participate all the tender. That currently, I think at the moment, the bigger three plant that we going to implement it soon and also be awarded is Rasa 1 and 2 and 3. So I think this three plant is talking of project they're involving all the big meter. They're involving a 2.2 size as a big meter. And usually project consumer plant, the size of the meter is bigger comparing to all the NRV side and also comparing the billing sector side.
all right. Thank you. I think you also answered one of Terrence's full other question, which he was asking that if CTIB is involved in the Rasa water treatment plant works, and he said like it's a big pie there. So
We
a lot of
do
potential.
participate in the previously.
Okay. All right. I think over to you, Sachi, if you have any questions to
Okay,
ask.
sure. Yeah, actually, Dato, maybe if you could just help myself and the audience who might not be that familiar with the industry, right? So, you mentioned two things earlier. One is the electronic flow meter, then one more is actually your telemetry products. Maybe could you just help simplify and explain what these two different things are so that it's actually very clear for everyone what specifically you are involved in?
Okay, I think as far as electromagnetic flow meter itself, is basically to register the flow rate passing through the pipeline. Okay, and with a high accuracy, talking about 0.25%. Compared with mechanical is about 2 to 4% or 2 to 5%. So basically, all the meter will register to the meter, but we need another element, instrument that have to transmit data back to the headquarter or control monitoring system to register the flow rate. So basically, we don't want people just walk into the site, the rural area, reservoir, pipeline, at the urban, at the area that it could be actually due to the distance, the transportation to go down to reading the meter. So what we're having now is actually we have another product based called software data logger. And this data logger basically register the flow rate recorded by flow meter and they keep it as a storage. So that is in the event people want to retrieve the data, so that actually you can see all the flow rate that can actually printed out water or in the central monitoring system and so for the in the server side. So now how this logger transit back to a headquarter or central monitoring system is basically through the all the network to 4G or 2G. You know, so we are talking about this all network that we're having. We are registered to the some Maxis and Cellcom. So eventually, the every hour, or you can actually program it every hour, or can do it every daily, sending back the data back to headquarter. So from the headquarter, you can actually print out the data, and you also can monitor most of the data that will be going up to end user pipeline, you know, so that they can even do keep track all the leakages on the water. So that's why we have two range of product. Basically, I can see that none of the competitor in the market they do have this combined product, and we do have it in the same company. And understand that our reputed partner Siemens and Lagroff Software, they are worldwide. We have gained all those big recognition to the worldwide market. So we done, you know, we are very happy with that. And at the moment, we are trying to promoting these two brand product in the market, you know, to promote it to all the water authority, especially, you know, big user is highest Selangor. I think for M4, if you go through my prospectus, our big user will be highest Selangor state. And you know that among the 13 states, highest Selangor is the biggest state that having a very advanced data monitoring system through the network, and also they're using quite of the numbers of flow meter also. Is it okay? The two are related. I think did I explain it nicely? I think if they say
Yeah,
audience is
actually,
really, there's no.
Actually, I think that's very clear. I think to me, my takeaway is like this is really one of those implementation of Internet of Things IoT devices that we've been hearing about for
Correct.
years, but this is a very real life application of it.
But I need to highlight one thing here is that is because a lot of people misleading on CTIB. CTIB means Cosmo Technology International Berhad. So we got a word of technology. So I have receiving quite a lot of people asking me, hey, are you a technology counter? Because you know lah, technology counter nowadays quite impressed to all the investor. Okay, but I'm telling you because we got two sectors here. Because what we are doing, we are trying to explain to the audience here is that we do involve the technology because we have partnership with Siemens, and we all the data transfer back to headquarters, we consider technology. And we consider all the data that we program it and we integrate it. And we also need to actually come up with integration and all in the future that helping government to do some saving also. And in fact, also do help the government to do the energy saving also. Of course, in the manufacturing side, we are the manufacturing on oil shaker filter, basically manufacturing side, and on the oil and gas sector. So we have the two both sectors supporting our whole business. So we can actually classify, you know, Busa is classified as industrial product and services. Industrial product and services. Okay, I think it can be also the same, you know, that in future I may or may not, you know, we venture more and more kind of this software product because, you know, in France and in Siemens, I think everybody know about Siemens, right? So they are very advanced technology company. So in fact, we are working all the electronic flow meter with them, and then through all the 4G right now. So in fact, slowly, they're going to upgrade to 5G. Because of course, this all kind of technology that we going to impose it in the market. Of course, we will try to promote it in advance, you know. And of course, we will hear what Siemens technology that we're having. We work together. So you can actually classify us as time being, of course, we are industrial product and services time being, but in near future, probably that we work closely with Siemens software further enhance our this so-called monitoring system. And we are through using the 4G right now in our logger. So I
Okay,
hope
got it,
this
Dato'.
meeting people can actually precisely understand what we are involved in the industry.
I think it's very clear. I think just looking at the questions that are now coming in, I think it's very clear to the audience specifically what you do. In fact, there's actually a very interesting question here from Amar. So which I also think just touches on what we've been talking about, right? So that you do the solutioning, the advising and the design work and all that. But do you also have a maintenance contract after that, like, or is it just once you sell the product, that's the end of the relationship? How do you structure the business model side of this?
So our business model on meter side, basically after sale and service, of course, any problem we have to attend. And of course, under the water authority requirements, they do have an ISO requirement. You know, under a water meter, they need to do a certain verification and calibration test to verify a current meter whether it's functioning well or not. No doubt, the meter is working well. They need to carry out so-called a verification test. And then Siemens and us have the special tools to measure it and give a full report. And every time when we carry out any verification test, and we are chargeable. So mean is the recurrent currents, the revenue, basically we're not only depending on after sales, I mean the selling of the meter, but we do providing all kind of verification tests. And basically every verification test, every meter that we install it, you know, they have to come back to us to verify it in after 1 year or 2 years. But this is under the ISO requirement to make sure that the meter been able to pass it in working condition. They only able to only allowed to use it. So basically, I can rather say there's no contract, and most of the water authority, they are going to calling the tender or calling the maintenance contract as and when they're required.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Dato. Jaming, I pass it back to you.
Okay, all right. Thanks for your very elaborate answers for every single question. Mm, let's see. Oh, there is one quite interesting question from uh, Jeremiah as well. So let me just share. So, what is CTIB flow meter's biggest advantage over the rest of the players? And maybe not to touch on the competitors in this space, but I guess the
Yeah, of
biggest
course.
advantage.
Now, of course, we are not able to highlight this
Yes.
good at the moment. But I just want to highlight one thing to you. Important key factor that we're having here now is that I think we are the only one that holding the agency meter that listed in KYC. And then basically with this kind of the recognition, reputation, with the partnership with Siemens, software, and through our track record, through the financial performance, through our our team, technical team that we're having. So I believe we can outbid all the competitors. Of course, I cannot comment other people's
Yep.
strength also in experience,
Yeah.
but I believe our company should be able to beat all the player in the market. We are quite optimistic. And then definitely, our partner Siemens supporting also quite well in terms of technical and pricing issue. So it's allow us to go further step, to enhance our market share in the market.
Yep. Oh, okay. All right. Well, your answer has also answered Shafiq's question, I think, on how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors. So that's
Really the
you
same.
hit two birds with
What
one
I
stone.
highlighted.
Yeah. All right. Okay. There is one question, quite interesting question from parents. I'll just pick it up. So since you'll be gathering a lot of data, right, with your digitalization, and you will get a lot of data, would you be able to monetize it in any way, or do you own the data, or is it kept by your clients?
Actually, under a soft view, and then we do have our own data bank in France. Okay, and basically it depends on the sizes that the user they have. But our Malaysian government basically they do not allow part of the internet data to overseas server, so they still allow it us to be in Malaysia. So of course, this all data we are not able to obtain it. Like partly all end user, the user code number, username. Actually, we do not have it. Basically, we program it to the what is all the authority want. So we're talking big data anyway, is we are not holding it. And we do not have it also because we are only the programmer and we don't know what they're having inside down there. And our important data considered back is all the flow rate and the data and all kind of the parameter. We're talking about the battery, inside the meter. Are they able to last for how long? The flow rate, high low threshold, leakages, and the kind of these all kind of engineering parameter data, and not the personal data that they are obtaining. That one is leave it to our authority.
All right. Okay. Thank you for answering Terence's question. I hope that answers Terence's question. Okay. Next, let me see. Maybe Sachi, you have any questions that you want to ask?
Actually, as Dato was explaining earlier about the relationship with the partners and all that, a couple of people had a similar question to what I had in mind. So, Dato, there's actually this question from both Sue and Terence asking whether your partnership with Siemens is exclusive, or are they also selling to other players in the market?
Now, I have to emphasize it. These partnership agreements, actually, you can see that Siemens, in their culture in Germany, they do not appoint any exclusive partner. They do not have. Okay. Basically, what they do is they are having the solution partner. They are having a different range kind of the partnership agreement. So we are classified. They are classified as a solution partner. Solution partner agreement basically is very simple, and only to achieve a solution partner agreement, you might have a certain target achievement. They only allow awarded this solution partner. Now, solution partner basically, if you actually key in to the extent inquiry back to the headquarter in Germany, Siemens website. If you are from Malaysia, example is you have problem with the meter, so you send an inquiry back to the website. You ask for any help. If anybody in Malaysia can able to help us, the pricing, technical know-how. I'll tell you, they will divert you back to our Cosmos. Indirectly, they won't divert back to other people because we are the only one in Malaysia have signing this solution partner. So of course, no doubt they do not have exclusive, but indirectly they were coming back to us. So I don't know what you think and what you guess to that, but I think at the moment we are holding the biggest stockist of Siemens for time being in Malaysia. So as and when and all the water authority having a problem on a meter, we can actually act on immediately, and then we can help them within 24 hours to resolve that problem. Of course, now meter damage or unrecording the data quite serious, and for especially for big client, the usage of water daily is talking about 100,000 or 50,000. Could be 1 hour, it costs you about 20,000 for rate. So a problem damage is and unrecorded is very important to all end user. Of course, for timing that, I believe in Malaysia we are the biggest stockist. It's the advantage one we have now.
All right. Okay, sure. Thanks a lot, Dato. That part is also very clear, I believe, and I hope Terence and Sue, that answers your questions. Dato, now maybe we move on to the oil and gas sector a bit. We've been talking about the water sector for so long.
Yeah.
Maybe we transition a bit.
Everybody talk about water, so you will talk about oil and gas.
Correct. So actually, there's just a question here from Amar asking about who are your clients in the oil and gas sector. Maybe Dato, if it's a bit confidential, maybe just talk about which part of the value chain do you service?
You can see that in our prospectus, the client in the oil and gas segment, basically in the prospectus is very clearly specified. We are working very closely with NOV in US. Okay, and the bigger customer, I believe, all is specified in the prospectus also. And both of them is actually big customer, and then we're working very closely with them. So I think the rest of new customer, I may not able to disclose it at the moment here. Of course, for time being, we do following up in the various customer and we found that there are quite a numbers of new customers is actually getting us a quote and providing the pricing to them.
Okay, got it, Dato. Let me just see, right? There's actually another question here from Terrence. So oil and gas sector typically is very volatile to a lot of players in the industry, but does the crude oil affect your performance significantly?
Of course, crude oil price is one of the big factor for upstream and downstream. So I think definitely will slightly be affected. But of course, we have been working very closely with all the big customer. Even though the pricing drop also on crude oil, it definitely there definitely a lot of big also in operation. And in the previous record that we are facing also, we have no issue that there's certain dropping on our manufacturing on oil and gas filter also. So I think we are outbid on the oil and gas factor, oil and gas industry for timing.
Okay. And maybe just one more question from me, right, Jaming?
Okay.
So Dato, your background is in water. What made you diversify or get into the oil and gas segment?
Basically, I have mentioned in my prospectus, we entered the series of the what I call major acquisition with the MCI. We have completed 218. The main purpose is basically, no doubt, MCI is mainly focused on oil and gas sector. During that period of time I'm also focusing on the water sector. So we believe water sector we need a lot of customization metal product, and I believe IMCI is able to produce kind of high quality metal product. There's a reason we merge it together. So eventually we have ventured into these two industry. Of course, I can boost up the sale for oil and gas sector also for MCI. Of course, our MCI apparently having substantially PO coming in, and at the moment you can see that in our revenue on the oil and gas sector is actually increased so much because due to the high demands the water the sector filter apparently in Middle East and also in US. So, in fact, when you acquire this company, not obviously I will venture the oil and gas, but I also want this MCI to be venture the water also. And you know that just I presented the laminar plate. A lot of these HDPE kind of filter, have been need to be replaced by stainless steel due to the unhealthiness on these so-called the plastic and submerged long run in the water. And basically, based on the record that we are facing, have been recorded, is that most of the plastic will get cracked after a long sunlight. Most likely every 10 years they have to replace. So if in terms of replacing stainless steel, it may be able to last for another 30 years or 50 years. So
Wow.
in the other way, it can help the government to save some money also, right? In the long run. So this is the area that I'll be considering to acquire this MCI one.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dato. Jaming, over to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Since we are talking about manufacturing, do you actually do all your manufacturing internally, or is there a percentage that is sub out or subcontracted out? Yeah. Maybe you want to explain more about that.
I think this operation side, I will pass it to my COO, Boon Kyung. He's basically explain this section with you. Mr. Mr. is my COO, who is involved in oil and gas sector. In operation side, I think it's more let him handle and let me explain.
Okay. So can you repeat your question about the operation side?
Okay. May I know if you do all the manufacturing internally, or is there a percentage of products that you subcontract out?
Okay, I can say majority, 70% we do it internally and we do sub out. There's a reason. There's a reason why for this IPO exercise we need this high performance machinery. So that then we can pull back all the outsourced work back to our internal production.
Okay.
Actually, you can see that a lot of utilization proceeds. We acquire a lot of machinery, cutting machine, laser machine, robotic machine, and you can see that we are trying not to rely on more on foreign worker and also the subcontractor.
Yes.
So eventually, you can see that when get listed, when moving the new premises, I think we can see that we can do complete 100% our own. And then
Okay.
in terms of revenue, in terms of the profit after tax, you can see that there's substantially increase.
All right.
You see
Okay.
the project is getting more and more. That's why we need more machine to help us. For that.
Very good foresight. All right.
Yeah.
You did touch a. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Also very aggressively to be, immensely actually increasing so much also the past 2 years.
Mm. Okay. You. So actually, right now, how much is the utilization rate of in your production at the moment? And uh, let's say if you have all this new machinery, basically you would be able to do all the manufacturing internally, and then you will be able to take up also more potential orders, right?
Yeah, I think at the moment, if let's say we adding up all the new machinery, I think our production it will be increasing very much. But of course, percentage-wise, we're not able to tell right now because in during our planning, I think it definitely will be increased very much on our production because due to the high efficient machineries and this all thing will be carrying. We definitely will be increase our production.
Okay. Uh, all right. And currently, how reliant are you on foreign laborers in your manufacturing processes? If you have a rough figure, maybe you can just let everyone know.
Basically, right now we majority around 70 over percent,
70 over.
70 over percent is a local. So we not much depending on the foreign worker.
Okay, that's good. All right. Let's see. Okay. So since we have spoken about the wastewater and water segment and also the O&G segment, so there's a question from Victor here. He's just trying to understand what is your margin for distribution and manufacturing segment. So yeah, maybe
The margin
latest.
for
I let my CFO to answer this question.
Okay, all right.
so the margin for distribution segment is arriving from water and waste
Oops.
water and wastewater segment, which range from 29 to 35%. You hear me? Can
Sorry,
you
Kelly,
hear me?
maybe you,
Yeah.
maybe either you or Dato need to mute.
For distribution segment,
Let me just. Uh, mm,
for distribution segment,
okay, can you? All right.
hello. So for
Yes.
distribution segment is arriving from water and wastewater industry. Their margin is around 29 to 35% in the past 4 financial year under review. Whereas for manufacturing, their margin is from 21 to 35%, which is arriving from the oil and gas industry.
All right. Thanks, Kaylai, for answering, taking up this question. I think you did answer Victor's question quite straightforwardly. All right. I will. Okay. Maybe Sachi, you would like to ask some questions since it's already 2:15.
Sure. Maybe
No
just
issue. The time is no
one.
issue. We can proceed. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dato, for your time.
Yeah.
Actually, I just wanted to move on to the use of your funds. So I noticed that about 60% of the funds is going towards building for a new building and machinery, and presumably this is going to be for the manufacturing business, right? So this money is not really going to go towards the growth of the distribution business. Is that how investors should think about it?
You see, the utilization per se, we have divided these few areas. The mainly utilization per se, 60%, we acquired a building. Now, why we acquire a building? Because at the moment, we do not have premises. We are renting. And you know, one of the administrative and Cosmo instruments and Berhad will be located at Semenyih. And under manufacturing MCS side will be on Balakong. And we are hoping that these two different areas, you know, at the end of the days, of course, we are facing a lot of administrative kind of high expenses. So we're thinking that you streamline, you know, to get all the things together. In fact, moving into the order production area. So there's a reason why we inquired a building. Of course, you see, under the purchasing of new machinery, also improving our productivity, production also is one of the major important thing. So we do not see that this utilization percent will not be planning nicely. But with this sort of thing, we will ensure that in our comings, funding will be able to, you know, to get it stronger. And no doubt, the building expanded us to 60%, but at the end of the day, they will come back and some certain revenue to us also in terms of, you know, reduce all the what I call transport, all the streamline all the initiative together.
Okay, understand. Thanks, Dato. That one I think very clear as well. I think earlier when Kelai was explaining about the margins, there's actually a comment from Terence. Wow, very high margins. And I was also just thinking about it as we were talking, right, Dato? Because I was very pleasantly surprised to see that actually your GP margin and your EBITDA margin is actually very healthy for a
Right.
distribution
Yes.
and manufacturing business. Maybe if you could
Right.
just share how you are able to drive such high margins, because it's actually quite unique, if you ask me.
We actually cannot comment that we are driving a high margin because we see that most of our clients will be paying us already. Okay, but anyhow, we are very happy with that in our GP and then our PAT value because I believe this all we are quite working at this within manufacturing profit level. You know, under the distribution side, you know, our team have been contributed so much on the engineering, designing, and also the consulting. So I think this also input into all our expertise that we have. We're not necessarily saying that we buy from Siemens and sell it to all the customers to the Alibaba. We do not have that. We are adding a value added to the product, and then at the end of the day, we also involving a certain integration of system, integration of the data. So at the end of the day, we able to make it a slightly higher on the profit. And also under oil and gas sector, I think we are driving a very good profit because we are not actually depend on the just normal kind of fabricating. We actually specialize and we have the very high precision machinery at the moment. We are thinking using the all kind of high precision tools to do involve in all kind of production or manufacturing. So this all thing also will be able to add it as value added because we are not also rely on the foreign worker at the time being and due to our expertise that we have, I think we should be able to gain more high profit level comparing other traditional kind of manufacturing. So you can see that in the recent IPO, you can even see that some of the people, some of the company able to drive very high because due to their earnings very strong. So I hope our company also following that step, you know, and then I'm quite happy that you commented us a high margin and I believe we should be able to sustain it and we should be able to get it better in near future. And I think with the utilization proceed that we're having, I think we should do better.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dato. I think my takeaway from that is basically you're not just a buyer and reseller, right? You actually add a lot of value along the way. So that's how you actually command, understand. And maybe I'm mindful of time, Dato. So maybe just one final question from me. I noticed that your revenue mix has actually changed quite a bit over the past few years because in 2019, international sales were actually quite sizable, but today your revenue has increased, but a lot of that is actually coming from local, whereas the international sales is actually quite low. Maybe if you could just share a little bit so that everyone can understand what's happened on the revenue mix situation for the business.
Okay, I think what is the
Okay.
figure? Can you answer this?
So in 2022, our export sales is 7.6 million, which is 15%. Sorry.
It's okay. You can continue.
Hello, hello.
Can you okay.
I think one of you need to mute because there's echo.
No, what you using it? Here use mine, use mine. It's your one. Okay, come. You're all sitting beside me.
So in 2022, 15% of our sales, which is 7.6 million, is derived from US market, whereas 41.4 million is derived from local market.
Mm.
Mhm. So
Yeah, but
in past 2 years, 2020 and 2021, our export sales is relatively low, mainly due to the global crude oil price has reduced. Yeah, as you can see from the key driver there, the oil rate is reduced. Yeah, that's why the demand for oil is lesser.
okay, understand. Okay, I think that answers all the questions that I had prepared. Jami, maybe I pass it to you if you've got anything else, and then we can ask Dato to wrap up.
Yeah, okay. Let's just take one last question, which I think most of your potential shareholders will be interested to know. So there's a question from Terence, whether any dividend policy for prospective shareholders, maybe in the future or, yeah.
Okay, good question. During the lead market, we also do not have this policy. Of course, back to the ACE market, I think we still follow this policy because at the moment, whatever we believe, the retained earning, we are trying to expand it our company expansion. Of course, in real future, we may to apply the dividend policy. Of course, we will announce it once we have decided lah. Of course, will be subjected to our management team, also subject to the board of director approval. So I think for time being, I do not have for this dividend policy, but it may or may not in future they might have it.
All right. Okay, short and sweet answer, Dato. All right, I think we have addressed most of the, or almost all of the questions that we had today. So maybe we can wrap up. Dato Chong, do you have any last remarks or last, words for your potential shareholders here who are viewing this live?
Oh, closing remark. So basically, at the moment, a lot of people eyeing this new stock IPO, whether up or down, when during the opening date on the stock exchange. But I think at the moment, I would like to highlight is our business. Of course, we're looking forward. We very optimistic on the business, no doubt whether in oil and gas and water industry. You know how aggressive we are. Basically, you know that we are from mid market to ACE market. Of course, our planning will be go at the next level soon. Okay, but basing on our aggressive team that we have, you can see that most of my team is very young and energetic. Then you can see how good our new future, right? So even though myself, I'm not that old, actually, you can see me that I've got a long way to go, and I believe, our company, in order to get involved with this oil industry, I'm very high optimistic is that near future, the most segment that we're facing is definitely will be good. So, of course, at this moment, I cannot comment much on our share price or whatever. Okay, but I leave it to all the institution and all the fund manager or investor to rate it how we are, how are we, how good we are, and also. So basically, you can see that quite a lot of people benchmark me with other company, and then I will not tell what type of company that I can rather say that the few company in during IPO last few months, basically, some of people will benchmark us to that. But in long run, I think we outbid all the business that we have. So to hold it, we can. and then consider us. And then I hope I will be happy to see that in next shareholding meeting and AGM meeting. Thank you.
All right, that's a great closing remark, and we have a lot of thank you message saying that thanks for sharing, and then
Thank you,
how do you
everyone.
say,
Thank you,
yeah,
everyone.
thanks for
Still got
sharing
time. I would like
all
to
the
highlight one more
questions.
thing. 22 closing. We are doing quite fast this round because we want to listen it on 6th of October. So I hope everybody grab the time. And then you can, if really need to know more our company information, I think you can actually talk to Topic and then get our contact. And then, of course, we will reply all questions that you have.
All right.
All
Thank you,
right. Thank you
everyone.
so much, Dato.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. All right. That's a
Thank
wrap
you.
for
Bye.
our afternoon session. All right. Bye.
See you.
See you. Bye.